Bonjour, je m'appelle Opération Poire. Bienvenue à la maison. Je parle petit français. Si bedon c'est de mon mère. So, hello, welcome to the mountain. My name is Operation Poire. I speak a little French, but I try my best. So, before we get out here into the night, alright, I just want to go over the specs of this and what we're reviewing. Today we are going to be reviewing the Tough Soul IR Laser Light Combo. I bought it for roughly, I think it was $55 off Amazon. I will pop it up either side, up front, wherever. I'll pop it up on the screen right now. I'm going to go over the specs right here and now, and then I'm going to show you some footage of it, possibly some shooting as well. I can tell you my experience shooting it. It has held zero so far. I have it zeroed in at 50 yards, this specific laser. Some things I want to hit off real quick, or at least one thing, because I did read a very negative review on Amazon saying that the light itself did not work. Full disclosure, they don't even know my channel exists. I'm not getting paid by them. It's just my honest opinion and review of the product. No sponsorship, no nothing. However, I did see a review that said that they purchased one of these lights. They said it did not work at all. They sent it back, got a new one for free, return service. Got a new one, did not work at all, so they're waiting on a third one. Now, when I got mine, if I remember correctly, there was a tab of plastic between the battery and the cap, and you had to take the cap off and take the tab out, if I remember correctly. If not, then I had to install the batteries myself. But it does not come installed with batteries. You have to put the batteries in it yourself. But what I think happened here is they make green lasers, they make blue lasers. I don't know if they make red or not, but they make laser light combos of different colors. What I think this guy did is that he did not understand the infrared spectrum, as in humans cannot see infrared light without the help of like night vision equipment. And I think he thought it was just a regular laser to use at night. So that's why I didn't really count that 1-star review, and that's why I went ahead and ordered it, because it didn't really seem, I don't know, for people that's not in this space, that's not really common knowledge, to be honest with you. So yeah, this is just the IR combo. I have it on a 300 blackout build. I got a Romeo 7 on it for passive night vision. This is my night vision upper setup right here. And then this camera might be able to pick it up. I'm going to go ahead and turn on, this should be the laser. So you see right here, you see that? Very faint. I mean, there's a little bit of glow. That camera is picking it up on this tablet. That camera's picking it up really good. That's kind of crazy. Whoa, wow. But to the naked eye, and yes, this is cleared by the way, to the naked eye, you can't really see it. It's barely there. Same thing with the light. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so it looks pink on the camera, but to the naked eye, it's this itty bitty. You see that light right there? That's what it looks like to the naked eye. Just an itty bitty red light. So some specs real quick. The laser is 850 nanometers, which is good. The 850 is closer to the visible spectrum, which naturally means that you can see it better. It will go farther than if it was the other common one, which is 940 nanometers. The light is 940 nanometers, which is good for up close and personal. If you're clearing rooms and stuff like that with night vision equipment, the 940 nanometer light is better than the 850, because the 850, like I said, is closer to the more visible spectrum, and it will actually splash back in close quarters. So I'm happy they chose to do this, is what I'm saying. The 850 nanometer laser makes sense because it's a stronger beam, it's a stronger light, and the 940 actual light for up close and personal. It makes perfect sense to me. These are pushing 5 watts a piece, so pretty powerful. It's class 3A, which is, I think, the most you can go without it being illegal unless it's law enforcement or military use. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is like the farthest that you can go, legal wise, for civilians. It is IPX6 waterproof, which is really good. That's a really good number. And then it has something a lot of these cheaper optics and electronic devices for firearms do not have is rubber seal rings or O-rings to make it more waterproof. This comes included with O-rings, so you get a good seal on there. Stuff isn't falling off. It's, you know, it's all good to go. And yeah, that's what helps it become IPX6 waterproof is the rubber seal rings. Now, all in all, without the specs, just the feel before we get out in the field, this is an M-LOK mount. I think they make one for the rail, but mine personally is for an M-LOK rail. Quad rail is what I was trying to say. My apologies. My personal one's an M-LOK for an M-LOK system, but I think they make one for a quad rail as well. Really simple. You want laser, you press this one. This little LED will tell you the laser's on. That's really good for the naked eye, especially in the daytime, because if this bumps something and it's on, you're not really going to be able to tell because the laser isn't green or red. You can barely see it. So, you know, that's good. It's got a little indicator right there. And if you were doing night operations or something like that, like you were using this for real world stuff, you could always put a Sharpie over that light or electric tape, you know, something like that. Same thing with the light. This one will come on. So this red light will indicate either or both. That's on. But it's just simple button. It doesn't have a strobe or anything like that, but to be honest with you, with IR, I don't really care about the strobe. You're not really trying to blind anybody. You're just trying to see in the dark, whether you're coyote hunting or you're like at war, whatever you're doing. Like, all right. The adjustments, now I have them taped. I have them taped up here. It's kind of, let's see what's up here. So your adjustments, these are your adjustment screws up here on the front. I do apologize, it's a little bit hard to see. I have them hot glued in to make sure they don't shift. Because I've noticed a lot with the like airsoft PEG 15s and stuff, you have to hot glue them into place once you get them sighted in. And I just went ahead and done this as a redundancy for this one. Now so far this one has held 0. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to be able to shoot tonight. I've been getting some complaints from the neighbors at shooting at night, and I mean, I understand. But so far, it's held 0 when I have shot it at night. Like I said, I sighted it in at 50 yards. It's a little bit, you know, adjacent to the barrel. It's mounted on the left side. So obviously, there's going to be some shift depending if it's farther away or closer. But you can identify objects and you can point to objects perfectly fine, just like a PEG 15. That the U.S. military uses. Like I said, with those knockoff PEG 15s, typically when you get them sighted in or lasered in, you will hot glue the screws so they don't move, and that's kind of the best you can do. So I guess I went ahead and done that after I got it sighted in. So really simple. It takes batteries. Now, it has been a while since I purchased this, so if there is a charger or something included, I will pop that up on the screen. I don't know if you guys are seeing this weird, like, fading stuff with the camera. If you are, I really do apologize. I guess we're wearing low light in my bedroom right now. I guess it's spazzing out. So, we're going to go up there. It's getting pretty dark. I'm going to go eat, and then we're going to go up there and pretty much just do some barrel rolls and just some crazy stuff up there and see how this looks. Like I said, I'm going to try to get some shooting in, but it just depends. You know, I don't want to be a bad neighbor. That's just how it is. But so far, I've probably put roughly 100 rounds through it. That should be attached to a different video coming out, talking about night vision and stuff like that. It's held 0. It's not shifted at all. Now, I did use blue Loctite on these M-LOK screws when I mounted it. Actually, I put extra Loctite on there, and I really cranked it down as hard as it would go. I always do that with cheap things. A lot of people, they crap on cheap things, but they put on the mounts, which is the main problem of cheap things. They put on the mounts and then they just barely tighten it, just hand tight. And guys, that's not how you need to do it. I mean, I put it on there. I got some pliers on the torx bit, and I just cranked it down as far as it would go without stripping. So that's how I do it. Let's get out in the field. All right, IR0 mode. So there's a little bit of ambient light, and you're going to see like that street light up there, my house, and then those cars. But this is IR0 on a digital night vision device, so it's not going to be a one-to-one to a typical analog device. However, we will still be able to see the laser and the light. So we're going to try to do the light first. Oh my lord. Now remember, this is invisible. This light is invisible to the naked eye. We've got a target over there. Ooh, that's bright. I'm going to zoom in real quick. My apologies, hold on. There's a target right there. Ooh, that's a little bit too bright, really. Alright. So we're still in IR0 mode. And I mean, this is bright, guys. Holy cow. That's like that's probably too bright. Gosh mighty. So here's my old like building I used to record videos in. CB antenna. Let's go over here. Gosh, man. That's kind of crazy. There's some targets back there. Those targets are about 50-ish meters away from here. That's not bad, but this light is blinding. Holy cow. I know I said earlier about maybe utilizing this to clear houses, but you might need to dim it down somehow. I don't know if that has a setting. Now we're going to do the laser. So that target is right there. Bang, bang. You see the beam real nice. Remember, 850 nanometers. Oh, the target's here. My apologies. Right there. Bang, bang. And then these targets, obviously, bang, bang. Now, see, these are still targets, so we're getting splashback when we're on them. That's why they're glistening. Look at this starry night sky. Look how far this thing goes. Tops of trees. Over here, tops of trees. Just straight up in space. Look at that. Tree. Trying to see how far it'll go, really. It's kind of a crevice in the trees, as you can see. They got the stars, a little bit of branch. I mean, you can see how far that goes. That's crazy. I've seen this. I've seen the IR laser go up to about 400, 500 meters. I mean, pretty much as far as you can see. So, hold on, I'm going to kick IR1 mode on the actual NVG because it's getting like pitch black. And then I'm going to walk over here. And we're going to try to get that laser on the targets. Alright, should be able to see the targets here. Alright, I'm going to turn that off. Okay. Here's an old couch, and then target. Target. See that shine back where they're still? Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good laser. You can definitely point with it. A lot of people that use PEX and night vision, they literally use a laser just to point or mark something real quick. So it'll be like, hey you, doing, right there. Or like movement across the field, something like that. This thing works really good for a field. This light, like I said, the light itself,
it's definitely washing it out, and I don't remember it doing that at first, but yeah, that's a lot right there. So let's turn the dot on for passive. Okay, you see that? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so this is the red dot on the optic, and we turn the laser on. So, see the red dot? Laser, right on it, lined up. Right on those targets over there. So, quick little tip. Just shooting at targets is a complete viable option. Obviously know what you're shooting at and stuff like that. But also, I honestly, even during the night, prefer a passive setup. So just a dot. That's how I like to move in the night. There is no full moon. This is pitch black over here where we are. There's a street light over there. So, I mean, that's an orange street light. Just a little bit, a little bit of ambience. Typically, the Night Fox Pro works really good in low light conditions. If there's a full moon, you can't tell the difference between traditional phosphorus tubes and the digital night vision equipment. But the simple fact is, right now, it is pitch black over here. You can't see much. But that's what a regular orange dim street light looks like. And these are the stars up here. So yeah. But as for the laser, heck yeah. Nice bright laser. I mean, you can see the whole trail. Definitely a lot of splashback, but that's because it actually is really powerful. As for the actual light, holy cow. I mean, this is from here. From here, we're probably a good From here, we're probably a good 30, 40 meters, give or take. There's a car over there having me spasm. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Showcase wise. Like I said, I've shot roughly 100 rounds with it so far in a different location up by my cousin's place. And no problems. It keeps zero and everything. This is just showing you what it looks like under a cheaper digital night vision setup and showing you that it works. Let's get back inside, and then I'm going to say, if I recommend it or not.
Alright guys, so we're back, and how did it perform? It actually performed very well. The light is a lot, it's definitely, it's pretty bright, I'm not going to lie. It's brighter than what I remembered, and I do apologize for leading it on like it wasn't. Due to the specs of it being actually being a 940 nanometer light, I figured it wasn't going to wash out at close range as much as it did. However, well, it did. So I do apologize for that, but it did perform. And like I said, I've shot roughly 100 rounds through it, 300 blackout, and it's held zero so far. So I guess the next step would actually be to take it out, put it in water, throw it around a little bit. The typical. Typically, what I do, though, to be honest with you, I will just take stuff out and actually do FTXs. It's getting colder right now, so that would be a good time to take all my electronic equipment and stuff like that out and do FTXs. The problem is with anything night vision, it's just shooting at night. I don't want to bother anybody. Yes, I live in the backwoods, but gunshots can be heard for miles, and then especially if I'm building a new lower for it, because currently I'm just using the 300 blackout lower, but I ordered a super safety for the 300 blackout lower that I'm building, So by the time I record that video, we're going to have some super safe fire options in 300 blackout, and it's going to be at night. So I really need to pick a good location so I'm not bugging anybody. I mean, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But until then, I'm going to give it a solid 7.8 out of 10, or 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. I don't like the logos on it, but that is personally, me. A Sharpie over that would be good. I think the light is too bright. That's my main gripe. The logos and the white logo, at least, that is IR reflective, and then the light itself, I think, is too powerful. Now, if you're using this for coyote hunting in an open area or an open field, like actual hunting and stuff like that, then by all means, it's a 10 out of 10. If you're using this for hunting, if you don't care about the etching, the tough sole on the side, and bold plain white. For operator use, like I said, we want to scratch that over with a Sharpie. Probably put tape over the lens until you're actually ready to use it. I mean, just follow your P's and Q's. Nothing is going to be perfect in a tactical sense. And I know that probably sounded weird and like left field, but that's just how it is. Would I trust my life to it? Well, yes, for like home defense, home invasion, yes, something close range. Personally, I need to do more testing on it, especially when I finish this build and I can actually get out, do some more FTXs and night simulations and stuff. I do have a lot of stuff planned, but I would personally it's not a go to war right now. I would personally like to see how it performs and how some more equipment performs with it before I can make my final decision. And I do apologize. Ooh, that's weird. I don't know why that camera is doing that. It's low light right now. I am so sorry. That was disgusting. Ooh. But anyways, au revoir. A bientôt. I hope you guys have a great night, day, whatever time it is. God bless you. That's the most important thing. Pray for the poor. Pray for the homeless. Pray for the sick. Every night. That's what I do. That's what I try to do. I always, no matter what prayer I'm saying, it's always the poor, the homeless, and the sick. But anyways, peace out. See you guys next time on the mountain.